Good afternoon, my degenerate crypto friends. How you doing this fine afternoon? So I saw this in X a few days ago saying RAVE pumped 55X in the last 6 days. Yes, so RAVE was pumping, and I saw this and I was like, this is weird. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I took a look at this. The future of on-chain entertainment. When do you know to trust a pump? When should you buy in to something that's pumping? And when should you leave it the hell alone? That's the question here. Now, once I saw this, the future of on-chain entertainment, I knew this was garbage. I knew this thing was going to crash and burn because it makes absolutely no sense for a token that's representing some kind of future entertainment of raves as something that should be a top 25, top 50 coin. It makes zero sense whatsoever. So when I saw this was pumping like this, I was like, this is just, there's no way this is going to last. And there is something's not right about this coin. There is something, this is being manipulated, something is going on here. Because for a coin to pump up that fast, first of all, this pumped even faster than coins that go berserk. And for that to happen, there has to be a real reason, a real good reason behind it. So then after that, we get this. RAVE is one of the biggest rug pulls in crypto. The team involved in this rug deserves prison. And I think I agree, but we need the facts first. We need all the facts. RAVE just crashed 99%. This coin went from 0 to 7 billion to 140 million all in less than a few weeks. It was like a week. It went up like a week. I warned you about RAVE yesterday. Today it's down 97% and 6.46 billion is gone. Exactly. I said the same thing in a few videos ago. I saw this thing going up and I said on my little feed that nobody watches, like, this thing is going to crash and burn. And then this dude says Irene Zhao's RAVE allocation is worth 480,000 yesterday, now it's worth 21,000, and she says actually it's worth 10,000 now. So that's what happens when you get into something that's pumping. Absolutely don't do it. Never sell what you have to buy something that's pumping. If you want to take a risk, always put new money in. Don't mess with your solid bags to take risks and to gamble. So when should you get in when something's pumping? Let's look at some cases and see, like, when's a good time to get in when something's pumping. So if we look at Hyperliquid didn't pump up from zero because it's a recent project. A lot of recent projects, they are already launched at a high valuation. So what would happen if it was too high, they would just dump. They would just kind of crash and burn, and then they would make their way up slowly. But Hyperliquid, since it's a DEX, or it's a place where people go and do their trading and they're making tons and tons of money, makes sense for Hyperliquid to be at 13 because of the money. Now I would argue that there are a lot of blockchains that should be ranked higher maybe than Hyperliquid because their infrastructure, they have more network effect, more growth potential, but it's justified for Hyperliquid to be launched and to come up here at number 13. Then here's another case, World Liberty Financial. Now, World Liberty Financial, you can see that it's actually come down a bit since it launched, but altcoins in general have come down a bit, so that's kind of normal. This is another case where it was launched with a high valuation and it's more or less maintained its valuation because you've got the Trump brand behind it. It's kind of Eric Trump, I think, is the main guy behind it. And so, these guys have a big business, they have skyscrapers around the world, people know who they are. So it kind of made sense that, and then maybe a lot of people want to support the project because it's DeFi. So it made sense for this to more or less hold in this top 50, right? Now, here's when we can see that it pumped up. This was launched on January 22nd. And we could see when it initially launched, there was a big pump here. There was a big jump up, right? Now this makes sense because Toncoin is part of Telegram. It's not officially part of Telegram for, legal reasons, but it is the coin that Telegram uses for everything. So Telegram is a it's a chat that WhatsApp is like number one. I think Telegram is number two by how many people use it. So many millions of people are using Telegram. They're going to be using Toncoin for, buying stuff, selling stuff, sending money to each other. It makes total sense for Toncoin. This had gotten up to like number 8 or something like that. But it's still like in the top, where is it? 33, so it's still in the top 35. So that made total sense for Toncoin to go up. Now, let's see. Now, there is one case where it doesn't need to make a ton of sense for a coin to go up, and that is when it's a meme coin. Meme coins, everything goes out the window. If people think it's a cool meme coin, if it starts running, if it starts pumping, if it's up 100%, 1,000%, it could just go up to the top 100, top 200. So in that case, you just have to take a risk. It's just a total casino. You don't know if that meme coin is going to go up more or not. If we look at the meme coins that there are, Dogecoin was the first one. It was kind of a joke, but it was very early, so now everyone has it and it's pretty much staying up there. Then we had, I don't think that's just a meme, this one. I'm not sure. Then Shiba Inu came along, right? And Shiba went crazy. And let's take a look at Shiba. I mean, Shiba went crazy. I remember this. My cousin had some of this and he was like freaking out. Look at this. Insane. This is first, the initial pump was insane, but then it dropped, right? But then look what it did. Insane. Absolutely insane. So this was only the second big meme coin that came out. So this kind of established the precedent, right? This is the precedent. Meme coins, you don't need anything. There's no reason or rhyme. It's just that people are just like, I like this narrative. I like a meme coin. If it has a great narrative and it looks cool, I mean, you don't need much else. You just get the community gets behind it. People start buying it, and you know, because it's a meme coin, that it can just pump to the top 100. You know it. Look at this. I mean, 𝗃𝗃𝗃 52 now. I remember seeing 𝗃𝗃 pumping, and I didn't buy it. I mean, I saw 𝗃𝗃 when it was like down here, so it was like around here somewhere, and I didn't buy it. And then boom, and then went down, and then it pumped to high heaven. It's gone down with everything else, but it's still very high, very high. So with meme coins, you never know. You just take the gamble. Now, pump.fun, this is a meme coin casino, right? But you can see it was launched kind of high, it came down, but it went back up because pump.fun makes a lot of money. Pump.fun makes a ton of money every day. So it makes sense for them to have held. Look, they're still over $1 billion market cap. It makes sense because, I mean, here, what, they're at like 8-10 billion market cap. It makes sense because they make a ton of money, right? Now, here is a case of a little meme coin that I talked about in my last video, Asteroid Shiba. I said in my last video that I bought a little bit, even though it had pumped up real high. I bought a little bit because it pumped real high. But, I bought it like after it pumped, but like I said, this is a total bet. I don't know if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. There was a good narrative about it. There was, unfortunately, a little sick girl who sent a message to Elon Musk. This is the story, that she had drawn this Asteroid Shiba mascot looking thing, asking if this could be the mascot for Elon's project. So that's the narrative. It's a very good narrative. Very good narrative. That doesn't mean it's going to stay in the top 100 or 200 or even get there. It doesn't mean that. I bought it when it had already gone up, I don't know how many thousands of percentage, but it had a market cap of about, when I bought it, I think it was 24 million, something like that. And you can see it has a market cap of 134 million. I sold it. It went up to 150 some million. I sold it. I had a 7x. I was like, I'm not going to be greedy. If I hold this, it can just go back down and I can lose my gains. And I was really, I don't make many trades like this. I usually just buy and hold. But if I see something like that, I'm like, this can make sense. It's a gamble, but it can make sense. And it worked out. So, and when it's a meme coin, you know it might be able to keep running. It could keep running. And there's a whole bunch of meme coins here that, I wouldn't expect. 𝗃𝗃's kind of cool, I guess, but there was a lot. Official Trump makes sense because it was Trump who launched it, and there was a whole iconic thing where they, shot him in the ear, and he got up, he said, fight, and he, being a businessman, he made that into his meme. So that makes a lot of sense too, and it's Trump. So if you like Trump, you buy his meme. And then then we had Bonk. Bonk is still in the top 100. Like, is there anything cool about this? There's no great narrative behind this. No great narrative. And then 𝗃𝗁𝗃. I had this back in the day. 𝗃𝗁𝗃. This is like, it's totally lame, but it's still in the top 150. So with meme coins, you never know. You never know. But if there's a great narrative, there was one. It was like a monkey or something, and he had been. There's fart coin, but fart coins dropped back down. Dog with hat. This one never made any sense at all. The dumbest meme ever. Memes can be terrible. Look, it's about to be overtaken by Shiba. Memes can be terrible and still work somehow. Makes no sense. There's no rhyme. And then this is BNB. This is a blockchain that it's at the very top. It's the very top. So you see, this has kind of been the grind up, because BNB is a top blockchain, and it makes total sense because everyone's using it. Everyone's using it. So that thing pumps up. It makes total sense. So don't buy stuff that's pumping for no reason. If we are in an altcoin season, you're going to see crazy stuff happen, and then maybe you can do it. If we're in an altcoin season and everything's pumping, you can ride the waves. You see one pumping, you can go ahead and buy it. It'll probably pump some more. But in a market like we're in now, in this market where like we have pumped random pumps here and there, but like the normal stuff is very, very cheap. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you can just buy the good stuff. You can buy BNB, you can buy Solana, you can buy XRP, you can buy, any of these Chainlink. They're all at bargain prices. You don't need to buy stuff that's pumping to high heaven and you have no idea what's going to happen. So with the I kind of got on a rant here, but I did want to talk about this RAVE. This RAVE price went from $1 to $28, back down to 50 cents in just days. So there was a 98% crash. Roughly 6.5 billion market value was wiped out. So imagine all those people who lost money. All those people who lost money. It's crazy, 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 crazy. It just, if you just see this thing, look at this. What market cap did this have? It was insane. It made no sense at all. My goodness. So the price surged like 6,000% in a question of days. No real fundamentals, no major product release, no partnerships, no upgrades. All speculation, social media hype, and FOMO. I think there were some big guys in there, insider selling. Let's see. Large amounts of tokens were sent to exchanges and sold. Reports of team-linked wallets dumping during the peak. Price collapsed once liquidity couldn't absorb the selling. Liquidity is also another big issue. If the project doesn't have enough liquidity, it doesn't take a real big amount of buying or selling for it to be volatile, right? So on-chain investigator SAC-XBT flagged this for suspicious activity. Exchanges like Binance Bitgate began probes. Market panic sold, liquidations, millions wiped out. Immediate collapse when people start selling is a collapse in confidence. So classic cycle, accumulation, low activity, insiders building positions. Markup, parabolic rise. Retail investors pile in, price explodes. Early holders start selling into demand. Liquidity disappears, price collapse. So it had thin liquidity, leverage, forced liquidations, accelerated decline, hype-driven demand, centralized ownership. So anyways, without going on and on about this, you have a lot of people own a large percent of it. And they put a lot of money in, they pumped it up. People people see the price going up, they start buying in, and then these big guys, the central group of people that own it, and then they just start dumping it. And once they start dumping, everyone else dumps it because they can see the price crashing. So this is bad for crypto. This is bad for crypto, and this is. But look, this is the game. This is the game. If you want to be in crypto, this stuff happens. Just don't be a sucker. Don't be suckered by this kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's it for today. Kind of went on a rant there with the different projects, but just letting you know, you got to be careful. Don't just buy into stuff that's pumping. It's got to have a good reason. Good reason to be pumping. So that's it. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.